Hey guys, Gary here from RV Living Life. Today's video is going to be a little different than normal. Just want to share an experience we had recently. I really didn't intend on making this video, but it's been rolling around in the back of my mind for some time now. So I just thought I should do it. We had an experience where we were just sitting outside the RV one day. We had, in our chairs relaxing, and we had a glass of wine, I believe, each going, Carol and I, and we had a little snack going. And some people showed up across from us in a travel trailer, and they were setting up, and they looked like they were, newbies, and they were trying to set out their awning, and they couldn't figure out how to get it going and how to get it set up right. So, Carol and I said, well, we do know how to do some stuff, so let's go over and give them a hand and say hi. So we went over and we said hi and asked if they needed help, and they were very thankful and gracious and said, yes, please. So we helped them get their awning set up, and next thing you know, it was working, and they were happy, and they said thanks, and we said, you're welcome, have a enjoyable stay. And we headed back over to our site. And when we got down, we were sitting down there, and we're having our glass of wine, and realized, like, what happened to the snack we were having? So we look over at Lexi, and she's got this look on her face, So we looked down, and you could see there was a wrapper on the ground from the crackers we're in. And we had like a pasty meat, some sort of liver thing in a tube, and it had been cut 2/3 off and brought outside, and we were eating that. You just take a knife and spread it on crackers. We were eating that, but that was gone. And I said, oh man, she must have eaten the whole thing because it's nowhere around here. And Carol said, I think there was I think there's a metal ring on that thing, on one end. So she went inside and got the other third of the package and looked at it, and sure enough, on one end there was a metal ring. And this ring, I'll find a picture of it, but this ring is about a 1/2 inch in diameter and about a 1/4 inch wide, and it's just bent around the package. And where it's bent around, it's just kind of pinched there, and there's two sharp edges, and they're kind of at a bit of an angle. And it's quite large, It's like bigger than my thumbnail, right? It's pretty big. But anyway, that was attached to a wrapper, which was a couple inches long, and it was around, the contents of the package. So it was quite large, and I guess she had swallowed the whole thing. So we thought, that's not very good. Will that be able to pass through her? Or, maybe we can't just find it? Or so we just kind of thought about it for a bit, and after a little while we went inside and we started, thinking about what to do. And she started eating and drinking water. She seemed fine. She ate a whole bunch of food. And so that all seemed fine. So we kind of put it out of her mind for a little while. And then I noticed later on, like in the evening, she was, just laying on the sofa and looking at me. And when she's looking at me, she's generally trying to tell me something. Because if she's laying on the sofa, she's usually out, like sleeping. I'm sure that, if you follow the channel, you've seen some pictures of her sleeping on the sofa. She gets pretty into it. But she was just looking at me and staring me in the eye, and she's usually trying to tell me something at that point. So I'm thinking that she must have eaten that thing, and she's not feeling very good because of it. So I went online and I was looking around, and what do you do when a dog eats something like that, right? And I see that a lot of people saying that dogs pass all sorts of things through them, but they're small objects, right? And they're not like a metal ring with sharp edges attached to a long piece of cloth material, And I'm thinking if that goes into her intestines, that's really going to be a problem, right? Will it kill her right away, or we'll have to have an operation that costs thousands of dollars? Like, what would we even do? And then again, it's like a Sunday night, and it's like 9 or 10 at night, and getting kind of concerned about it. And Carol had gone to bed earlier because she had obligations on in the morning. And I said, I'm just going to stay up with Lexi and see how things go. So when I was reading, I could see that after about 6 or 8 hours, whatever's in a dog's stomach starts to move into the intestines, into the digestive tract, or whatever you call it. So you really only have 6 or 8 hours to get it out of her stomach. Other than that, it's into the intestines, and then who knows what happens at that point. So I'm starting to think, well, geez, could I put my hand down her throat? Is that going to make her throw up, right? And I look, and dogs don't have a gag reflex, so that's not going to work. And then I discovered on some veterinarian site or something like that, that to make a dog vomit, you give them hydrogen peroxide. You know, everybody's got it. We got some. I think it's 3% or something like that. And you can give them that, and the dog will throw up. And according to the dog's size, I would need about 3 tablespoons of it. So I got this little syringe out of the bathroom. It's not really a syringe, but it's just for blasting water in your teeth to clean them. I'll show a picture of it here. And I put 3 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide in it. And she was laying on her side, and I held her mouth down, and I opened up her cheek there, and I shoved the syringe in between her teeth way at the back of her mouth. And I blasted all the hydrogen peroxide into her mouth. And she was not happy. I can just imagine what that tastes like. Oh my God. But anyway, she swallowed it all. None of it came out. It all went down her throat. So that's good. And then when I let her go, she was walking around. She was not happy with me. Oh my God. But anyway, it was in her. So I thought, you know, maybe we're making some process here, you know, progress. And I looked and I more reading, and I'm seeing that when the dog throws up, there's some risk that whatever they throw up could get caught in her throat, and she could choke to death right in front of you. And I thought, oh, wow, you know, like that's a big metal ring and a long package attached to it. It's quite large. And she could choke on that thing, you know. So I'm thinking, well, whatever happens, I'm there for it. I'll make sure that something goes right if that happens. So we're waiting, or I was waiting with her in the RV here. And after about an hour goes by, nothing's going on. I'm thinking, geez, do I have to give her more? Or, you know, is this going to work? And then all of a sudden she started to heave, like she was going to upchuck, you know. And right away I thought, well, this is going to make a big mess. So I grabbed my phone and a leash, and we went outside beside the RV. And as soon as we went out there, she stopped. So I thought, well, let's go for a walk. Maybe the movement will get her going again. So we walked around the park. We're almost completely around back to our coach again. And all of a sudden she was in the middle of the road, and I can't really call it vomiting because she just opened up and everything in her stomach just came out in one shot in a pile on the ground. And I think it kind of freaked her out too, because she didn't even stop walking. She kind of just walked right through it. And it all came out, and it was substantial. And I thought, oh boy, that's good. So I got my phone and turned the light on, and I looked, and like, is it there? And right at the very top of the pile of grossness on the ground was that big wrap with that little metal ring on it. It came out. It was the last thing in her stomach. So in other words, it was like the next thing to go in her intestines. So got it out just in time. Pretty happy at that time, like, oh my goodness, wow, that is so great. And she perked up right away within a minute or two, and she was prancing around. And so we went around the park again because, you know, she was feeling much better, and she did her duty there, and it was good. So the end result is good. But I just wanted to say that, you know, I never really was going to put this video out, but I really felt that I should, because maybe this can help someone else. Like maybe you have a dog that grabs things by surprise off the table, or steals food from other people, or is always, you know, you see it pick something up in its mouth, and by the time you go to get it, it swallowed it, and you don't even know what it was. So maybe you know somebody else, a dog that does that. Maybe you can share this video with them. You know, like, I'm not really trying to promote myself in any way here. I'm just trying to help, because you know, this could have taken Lexi right out. I really feel that I probably saved her life that night, and I feel pretty good about it. Actually getting a little teary-eyed here because I really do love that dog. But anyway, I'm going to end it now, and everybody take care, and I hope this video helps someone. Bye now.